What is up, guys? Real Sergeant Major here to talk about a medical discharge or MEB process, um, how you get one, or why you are getting medically discharged, and what the process is like. So, what is a MEB? Basically, if you are found unfit, you will get a medical discharge if you are found unfit for duty. Basically, what happens is you get injured and the doctors find you unfit for duty, um, and you don't. And basically, it means you don't get better um, in a time period acceptable to the Army. There is a regulation on this. Regulation is AR 40-501. You can look it up online. I believe it's Army Pubs, and I'll leave a link in the description to Army Pubs, and you can look it up. It's AR 40-501, and it's specific to each. There's specifics to each medical condition that you have. So what the process is like. So basically, what happens is if you don't get better within the acceptable time frame that you have, then they give you they consider you for a medical discharge. They send up paperwork to an MEB doc. The MEB doc looks at it and can either deny it or can accept it. If it gets accepted, it basically goes to the pueblo, the person that's basically the person in the middle, basically like a case manager, someone that handles the medical discharge case. So basically, before all of this happens, if you're on profile for a while, what will happen is you'll be assigned a case manager that will help you through with the profile, with your medications, to make sure that you are following through with what the doctors are saying, showing up to your appointments, going to physical therapy, taking the right medications, making sure that you are picking up your prescriptions, making sure that your command is following your profile. These case managers are there to help you. They're also there to make sure that you're following through of what your doctor is saying, because on the flip side of things, you could be found what they call malingering if you're not following through which the doctor is saying. So as you go through in the process, it gets a little bit hectic. You get hurt, you go and see the doctor. They say we can't really help you. We're gonna, under AR 40-501, we're gonna consider you for a medical discharge. And then you get the phone call saying, hey, we're gonna medically discharge you. After you get that phone call, immediately following after that, your pueblo goes to work and gets you appointments for a VA rep that sends you down so that you can make your claims to the VA of what injuries that you have sustained while on duty, for service-related injuries. So basically, when you sit down with a VA rep, you're basically saying anything from basic training up to the point of now, what injuries you have gotten, and then he or she will put it all into the system and send it down to your VA. And the VA will look at it, make an appointment for you, and you will go and see their doctors. And basically, they will do a top to bottom exam on you. And then you go back to your unit, and then they call back, and basically, it will be the condition that will be found unfit. So the MEB board portion of it is basically you getting accepted into a MEB process. Then after that whole process, this process maybe only take a few weeks, if that. It's a short timeline. After that, you go into a physical evaluation board. Now, it's not like a normal board, like, promotion board or whatnot. This is a board of doctors that will look at your case. They will look at your case and they will look at it and go whether you are physically fit or physically unfit for duty. They can determine whether or not you are physically fit to serve in the Army. 99.9% of the time they will find you unfit, because if you went through the MEB board process, most likely you're going to be unfit for duty. That's just how it is. So you can fight it and say that you want to appeal it and go to another doctor and see if they can extend your timeline, maybe look in the AR. One thing I do stress is do your research on the regulations with your condition, because there might be something in the regulation that gives you a more lengthy timeline of when you can be discharged, or when you can actually have a period of recovery, and they could have overlooked that. You got to remember, it's not just you that's going through the board, it's a lot of other people that are going through it, so there could be something that they missed. So after they go through the physical evaluation board and they find you unfit, then it goes on to the ratings. The ratings are based on what the VA says. Now, the VA will rate you on every ailment that you recorded on your previous, what you filled out in the form when you went down to the VA, what you filled out before you went down to the VA, and what they saw you for. And the Army will only rate you on what you're physically getting medically discharged for. So the Army will get you a certain percentage, and over 30% you get medically retired. The VA will give you the rest of the percentage and rate you on all the other ailments that you have. Now, even with a 0% rating, you will still be covered. As in, you can always go to the VA and they'll cover that for the rest of your life. And if that injury gets any worse, you can get a higher percentage and get reevaluated. That 0% can turn into 10%, which can turn into 20%, if you catch my drift. So it can always get higher. So another thing about the MEB board, one thing is once you get your unfit for duty memo, you hand it to your commander, and basically you can clear CIF, where you get your gear early. A lot of times they'll let you do this. That way you can't go on fields a lot of times. That way you can not go to field, and a lot of times it's on your profile you can't go on fields anyways. But this will be sure that you can't go on fields, and this will also help you out process. Because if you think about it, if you're hurt in the military, if you're hurt in the Army, you're a liability now. If you get hurt anymore, then you're even more of a liability to the Army. You can claim more percentages. You can get more money out of the Army. The Army doesn't want it. The sad truth is it's all about the money. It's all about how much funding are you costing the Army. The Army doesn't want to spend that much money on you. So if you can clear out fast because you're hurt, then yeah, they'll allow you to do that. So you'll get your unfit for duty memorandum. You hand that to your commander, and he will write you a memorandum that says you can clear CIF without orders, but you can't clear anything else. As soon as you get your ratings, that's when you can start clearing post, your company, your battalion, all of it. And then you'll cut your orders, and then you'll be discharged. The things to look out for with a MEB board: you are still under UCMJ with a MEB board. A lot of people get the mindset that they're invincible with a MEB board. You still show up to formation. You do what you can in the Army, what your profile allows you to do. You also got to watch out for your commands, because a lot of commands, in my experience, do sort of target the people that are going through the MEB process, because the way they look at it is they're losing bodies to complete the mission, and they don't want to do that. So some of the things that you need to know is you could still be charged under UCMJ for alcohol related incidences, disrespecting NCOs. You are still held to the standard, as in um, penalty things like punitive, things that can give you an Article 15. You can still be held under investigation for things, so you're still under that. Administratively, though, you're done. You know, they cannot discharge you for height and weight or a PT test. Any command that says that is done. They don't know what they're talking about. If any command comes up to you, if you are in the military going through an MEB and they threaten to chapter you out for height and weight, AR 635-40 specifically states that MEBs cannot be administratively chaptered. They can be punitively chaptered, but they cannot be administratively chaptered. That's a big misconception. AR 600-9 for height and weight covers for people that are not going through the MEB process, but people that are going through the MEB process, we fall underneath AR 635-40. That's one thing that y'all need to know, because a lot of commands try to slip that through, try to put that little scare tactic that says, hey, you still fall under height and weight, you still fall under PT test. No, they cannot do that because you are going through this process. Another thing to know is your MEB is now your mission. It states in the memorandum that you get when you get your MEB. When you are notified that you are getting a medical discharge, you will get handed a memorandum. And I think it's like the first or second line that says, your main mission now is to get discharged. That is your main mission. That is all you do, is go to your appointments, and that's it. That's all you need to do, is go to your appointments and basically get the hell out. Because so anything that your command says that says, hey, I need you to work on here, but you got an MEB appointment, your MEB appointment takes precedence. Now your command can make you get an appointment slip and make you sign in and sign out. If they want to do that, then they can. There's nothing preventing them from doing that. But most of the time, your MEB is your priority. That is what you have to do. So anything else is mainly secondary to your MEB. Mainly, another thing to look at is that you are going to be clearing. You are going to be doing Soldier for Life. You are going to be out processing, and you're going to be doing a whole bunch of other things. So one thing to look at is that just to keep in mind is, be in the mindset that you are going to be leaving very soon. So get your finances straight. Do whatever you can to set yourself up for success on the outside, so you don't get surprised when you get out. The surprise factor of reality. If you're 30% or higher and you get retired, well, you don't have to worry about Medicare or healthcare or any of that. But if you don't, then you got to worry about where your health insurance is going to get. Just know you are going to be losing all your benefits. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. That's all I really got on the MEB process. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Also, a big shout out to JT Suits, the Seaman Demon there. And I will catch you guys later. Oh, side note, I will probably be going live this weekend. And yeah, y'all have a good one.